Hello my dear multinational friends, my name is Rowan and this is Accent Program, and as you already guessed, today we are going to visit one family which represents one of 130 ethnics living in Kazakhstan. By different ways and destinies they got to our lands, and a lot of them found themselves so far away from their historical motherland that is amazing what good wind had blown them to our steppes. Take for example Greeks. Where is Kazakhstan and where is Greece? However, more than 10,000 Greeks live in Kazakhstan today. Also, some time ago there were more than 60,000 Greeks, and today we'll know at the place how did they get here, because today our generous hosts will be Greeks. And by the way, we have a splendid occasion today. It is one of the most important holidays in the life of a true Greek, Panaia.
Panaia is celebrated by Greeks all around the world in the same great way as, for example, Christmas and Easter. In these days, Greeks go visiting each other or gather in big companies and together celebrate the holiday with songs, dancing and of course rich feast. It is worth mentioning that Greeks love and the most important can celebrate holidays merrily and cheerfully. Maybe this is because Greeks are one of the hard-working nations on the earth, and one who works hard appreciates every holiday occasion.
We are in Panfilo village near Almaty, which is more known among the people as Tabaksavkhoz. One of the communities of Kazakhstani Greeks lives here. Today I want to introduce you with Konstantin Ivanovich Muratidi, chairman of the Greek Ethnocultural Center, who has kindly agreed to meet and take us to the celebration. Hello, Konstantin Ivanovich. Our audience is interested in the particular question of how Greeks got to Kazakhstan. Greeks and Greeks' history goes back from the time when Greeks were deported to Russia, run from Europe. And in Russia, mostly Greeks were settled in Krasnodar Krai, many in Georgia and other post-Soviet Union countries.
Грузии, других постсоветских странах.
And when the war began, mainly in 1942, Greeks were deported from Krasnodar Krai, Georgia and other countries were deported to Kazakhstan. And here, to the Tabak Sovkhoz, it was Pyotr Fyodorovich Tomarovsky, organizer of this Sovkhoz. Approximately, the Sovkhoz was organized in 1935. He graduated from Krasnodar Agricultural Institute, tobacco cultivation faculty, and he knew perfectly well that Greeks grew tobacco. So Tabak Sovkhoz was organized here under his direction. And when Greeks were deported to Kazakhstan territory, he gathered them from all places so they could grow tobacco here. And in general, they grew tobacco, especially during the war. Tobacco was sent to the front. In this way, Greeks worked together with other nations on Kazakhstan territory. How did Kazakh people meet you during resettlement? Now I can say frankly, even presently, when many left for the historical motherland, on the whole globe you couldn't find any Greek who lived in Kazakhstan and sent unkind words about Kazakhstan. Because this land had given us a ground, a shelter. We can even consider my example. Our tribe, when in 1938 6 elders from my tribe were taken in one night, executed by shooting, and only in 1961 this became known. And my father left alone in the tribe. There were more than 20 people. In 1942 we came to Kazakhstan, and we were given everything to make our living. I personally graduated from the university, graduated from school, became honored coach of Kazakh SSSR, received the Outstanding Educator Award of Soviet Union. Isn't it the help of Kazakhland which paid attention to me, and there are 1,000 people just like me? Our famous academician Sandopola, one of the leading scientists in former Soviet Union, is from our Tabak Sovkhoz. A lot of famous people who are already grown up today were born in Kazakhstan.
выросли.
Greeks like Kisoglu and Professor Kasmiridi. They are well-known people. We were born here, grew up here, and we are happy. I am, for example, happy that I was grown up and brought up on this land.
Воспитался здесь, на этой земле.
Is it possible to say that Kazakhstan became your second motherland?
Это неправильно.
This is not correct. What does second motherland mean? This is my first motherland. I was born here, grown up here. I became a man here. This is my first homeland. How many ethnic Greeks live in Kazakhstan presently?
Ну, греков где-то 12 тысяч.
Well, there are about 10-12,000 Greeks. In our village, in our Talgar region, where I am a chairman, live 3,000 people. They are mixed already, but this is not the matter. Nevertheless, everybody has Greek blood, and here we all happy and all celebrate holidays. Our center is an education and training sport camp, which is here. We gather here, celebrate all occasions, state holidays, religious holidays. We celebrate together everything.
Проводим все вместе.
Could you tell us about the history of exactly your family? How did you move here?
Но я уже как...
They already said, in 1942 my family was deported to Pavlodar Oblast, Irtysh region, northern South Horse. There lived many nationalities. Many nationalities were deported there. I graduated from school there, and my mother, with my father, moved here while I was finishing the school there. Because Greeks lived here and Greeks moved here in 1959. Because we also didn't have a right to change place of living till 1959. Till the 9th grade, I didn't have the right to move anywhere as a victim of political repressions. Then I was allowed and I entered the Physical Training Institute and I worked as a physical training teacher during 1 year. So I entered the Physical Training Institute and graduated from it in 1966. I worked as a physical training teacher during 1 year, and then sports schools were opened all over the country, and I was appointed as a director of a sports school. I was 22 at that moment. Maybe Maden Sadykovich Sadykov saw something in me, because he said, "You have an Olympian's blood running in you, so create and popularize physical culture and sport." My parents had passed away unfortunately, but we still work and live here all together.
Культуру и спорт.
Of course, you can ask a question. If Greeks were deported to Kazakhstan from Caucasus and the Crimea, how did they occur to live there? It is very simple. Ancient Greeks were not only wonderful navigators, but also colonized adjoining to the sea's land. They also settled on the Black Sea's coast. Pontus was one of the largest of such colonies. Later, this colony even grew into the empire with the center in Trebizond city. Greeks living in Kazakhstan are descendants of exactly those Pontic Greeks. That is why they call themselves Pontians. Greeks living in Greece itself are called the Hellenes.
Festive preparations are in full play, and now I offer to go to the kitchen and look what dishes we will have on the table today. I know that Pontian cuisine is famous for its variety and exotism, so let's come and have a look on what is happening on this kitchen. Hello, Sophia Konstantinovna. Today we are in the kitchen of a splendid chef, Sophia Konstantinovna, and today we are going to cook two Greek dishes, which are called rigonada and manzanaki.
Rigonada. To prepare this dish, we will need the following ingredients: village bread, feta cheese, fresh tomatoes and olive oil. Cut bread into big slices and cook on a skillet without adding any oil until lightly browned on both sides. For the filling, we need to mash feta cheese slightly, mix it with chopped up tomatoes, add oregano and other seasonings. Saturate fried bread from one side with olive oil and lay out filling on the top.
First dish, named rigonada, is ready already. Now we pass to the preparation of our second dish.
Manzanaki. To prepare a dish named manzanaki, we will need the following ingredients: fresh aubergines, feta cheese, usual cheese, wheat flour, raw eggs, fresh dill, olive oil and bread crumbs. Seasonings: salt and pepper to your taste. Cut the aubergines into slices, add salt and pepper and let them saturate. Then cook in a frying pan in olive oil. To prepare a filling, mash feta cheese and mix it with the fine grated cheese. Add finely shredded dill and 1 raw egg. Fry flour in olive oil to prepare a coat. Put the filling into fried aubergines, roll them and coat them firstly with beaten up raw egg, then with our fried flour, then again with the egg and with the breadcrumbs at last. After getting double coating rolls of aubergines, go to the frying pan. There they are fried in olive oil for 3-5 minutes till they are completely ready. Manzanaki are ready.
We prepared 2 Greek dishes which are called rigonada and manzanaki, and it took us only a half an hour. I hear music outside already, so I should be going, because all the fun has started there, music and dances, so I will leave you for a while. You will cook the main dishes, I know. Our kitchen won't go anywhere. You are great, thank you very much for your recipes, and now I'm leaving. Svetlana Grigorievna, hello! Could you tell us a bit about your wonderful traditional Greek costume?
Конечно.
Of course, Greek national men's costume got the name Ixonos.
Fustanella Tsoulias.
Fustanellus Tsoulias. It got its name because of the fustanella skirt. It is sewed from the 30 meters of cloth and consists of pleated folds, total quantity of which is 400 folds.
Те годы, когда греки провели под атаманским правлением.
They symbolizes those years when Greeks were under Ottoman's government. The costume also includes shirt named tukanisa with white sleeves. A flannel waistcoat adorned with embroidery is put on over the shirt and belted. Men wear ferio, it is a hat on the head.
На ногах мы видим
On legs we see white stockings, which are belted with black silk laces and winded round under the knee, and we see tassels.
значит,
Ixonos is a costume worn by soldiers of the Presidential Guard, who keep the permanent watch near the tomb of the unknown soldier on the Syntagma Square in Athens. We can say that it is a uniform of the Presidential Guard.
Everything is ready for the celebration. These guys in festive costumes will entertain and amuse the guests with songs and the dances. Of course, I, as a quite curious young man, wanted to learn a couple of dancing paths. Variety of Pantinian dances is amazing. This nation love and can dance. Today, Sirtaki dance, translated from the Greek language as a contact, was performed for us. Unfortunately, this dance is not national Greek dance. It is only a popular dance of a Greek origin, which was created in 1964 for Zorba, the Greek movie. However, it represents a combination of a quick and slow versions of Hasapiko, an ancient dance of Greek butchers, Sirtaki dance, and also music to the dance written by the Greek composer Mikis Theodorakis. Sometimes it's called Zorba dance. After the movie was released, Sirtaki became the most popular Greek dance in the world and one of the symbols of Greece. It seems that the dance is very easy, but actually it is not. You know, I will rest a little, and while I'm resting, I offer you to visit one wonderful Greek family. Yuri Petrovich, hello! Could you tell about the history of your family? How did you come here to Kazakhstan? How did you live here?
Ну, во-первых, я хочу сказать спасибо нашим предкам.
First of all, I want to thank our ancestors. For example, my mother, who in her time, when we were little children,
Выходила, выкормила.
nursed us, brought us up, didn't give us to die from starvation in her time, rear us.
Воспитала. В 1942 году выслали.
In 1942, my mother got to Krasnoyar Krai, to the city Turukhansk.
еще по Енисею.
downstream of Yenisei, and farther got to Almaty.
Попал сюда, в Алмату. Много?
Many Greeks were deported, and then they came here to Tabaksavkhoz and grew up tobacco. Here we have some photos where our ancestors grew up tobacco. All of them were young, and all of them had big families.
Были большие семьи,
All worked.
все работали. Табаксовхоз его знали все.
Tabaksavkhoz was well known because here we were engaged in tobacco growing only. It is such a culture which is very profitable.
Вышла замуж,
So then my mother got married, and in 1950 my elder brother was born. There are 6 of us,
и вот нас
4 brothers and 2 sisters.
2 сестры. И жили именно вот в этом доме, родились. Все. Жизнь была...
Everybody was born exactly in this house. And that period of life was not nourishing, but if you worked, everybody had own kitchen garden,
который
which
корень-
fed. In the garden we had apples and grapes and everything, like fruits, vegetables, everything.
Тот народ в Казахстане, который...
People in Kazakhstan who lived that time were the people who would not eat but would sit you to the table. We always had on our table tea, sorpa and cheese.
Сурпа, сыр, всегда было с тобой. Когда-то волна пошла, начало 90-х годов.
Some time ago, in the beginning of 90s, a wave of immigration started. Everyone thought of how to save own family, to keep all the children together. And a lot of Jews began to move to Israel, Greeks to Greece, Germans to Germany. And during that time,
Начиная с 93
beginning from 1991 to 2006, I repeatedly visited both Germany and Greece.
неоднократно и в Германии,
What does Greece rich with? It is rich with the Greeks living there. Everything is good. But here, everything is different.
хороший.
We can't get acclimated there. Now take Greek living there and ask him, would you return here? To Kazakhstan, to Russia, to Kuban, would you return? And he would answer with such anguish, with great pleasure. But here my daughters and sons are married already.
Он вот сейчас с так...
Once, in Greece, in Monastiraki town, I got to the market, the biggest market, and they were ours, selling different belongings they took with them from here, so they were selling them there. And one man was playing accordion very well there. Women gathered around him and asked him to play something ours. What ours? The ours. Those songs we sang in Kazakhstan. So they sat in a circle on the carpet, and with the tears in their eyes, they sang those songs. They sang here. I was in Greece on the wedding. My son got married. I liked everything. Everything passed well. Splendid wedding. But anyway, I long to go home here. When I get on the plane, I heard a Kazakh speech.
В Греции был вот на свадьбе, сын женился. Понравилось, все хорошо. Прекрасно было свадьба, все. Но все
I
равно
already feel like home. You know, I can proudly say that I am a Greek, but I am a Kazakh Greek, ours.
казахскую, если слышишь, вообще все дома считай. Вы знаете, я с гордостью говорю, что я грек, но именно казахский грек, наш.
Usually, Anaya is celebrated one day, but from the earliest morning till the late in the night, and it is not accepted to leave the party too soon. That is why I will stay here for a little while in order to not offend our generous hosts. And I will see you in the next releases of our accent programs. Goodbye!